Okay. So, we went really, really fast through character design. I mostly wanted you guys to just be aware and intentional with some of the shape languages that character designs are built on. They're kind of the foundation of what your character represents in your story: protagonist, antagonist, hero, villain, sidekick, henchman, etc. Shapes, and by thinking about them as collections of shapes, are going to help you communicate what part in the story or what role in the story they actually play. And in doing so, thinking about these questions, having a basic understanding, basic meaning consistent, and basic meaning the 5 W's because it helps you make some of those shape decisions. Like, who is our character? Where are they walking to? Like I showed you last week with the example of what I am hoping our group final will look like. What is their purpose for going anywhere? All stories are driven by some kind of purpose. When do they need to be at their destination? Are they in a hurry? Are they not in a hurry? What is their most important detail your audience needs to know? I was reading through these posts, and I heard some really interesting characters. I'm excited to see how you guys put them together in the final, which is linked right here. And then if they don't have human legs, how are they moving? Because you don't have to draw humans. That's the beauty of animation, is we get so much opportunity here. So what are we actually doing today? If you go to announcements and then 113 to 117, there's a couple little things that I want us to prioritize. Those two things being the mini project 3.5 is what you're doing today, and then your final. I'll start first by talking about the mini project. What I want you to do today is to spend some time sort of brainstorming, sketching, drawing out what your custom character for the final is going to look like. Okay? The character that you answered the questions for on the entry task, I want you to spend some time drawing using shape language. I've linked this helpful little PDF that covers a lot of the things we've gone over with shape language, with some examples of when they are used on purpose and some tips to avoid with the specific shapes. And also, if you scroll past the 3 shapes, there's a little bit about when the rules don't apply. So before you start breaking the rules, you need to follow the rules so that you can understand how the rules work. But that PDF is linked right here on Mini Project 3.5. I want you guys to sketch out your custom characters that you're going to use for the final. Okay? If you want more information on the final project, it is in the modules. It is finally, or not finally, It has been attached right here in the stuff to do. This is not needing to be turned in until nearly the end of January, okay? The 31st. I have the due date set to our final day for first period is the 27th, but you can turn it in up until January 31st. 30th is, I'll change it to 31st. But I need to have grades in by a certain time, and I want to make sure you guys are getting these done effectively, okay? So, I've gone over the couple examples. I will relink it back on this page here so you have an idea of what we're working towards. But as a class, each of us will make our own parts of a walking animation and then stitch them together for a group final. You have creative freedom in the character, and I will add some more detail as we get more and more parts accomplished on this walk cycle. But for now, we're just focused on creating the character. The requirements for the final turned in example are 5 seconds max animation. So if you're animating on 1s, that's 24 times 5. It's a lot of drawings. If you're animating on 3s, I think that's only 15 frames. 8 times, no, it's 40. 40 drawings if you're animating on 3s. Okay? You need a uniquely designed character. That's what we're focusing on right now. You also need to include what you're animating on, 1, 2s, or 3s, and we're going to work on timing charts this week. Timing charts are a requirement for the submission. And just some more details. Your character is centered in the frame and then walks from the left-hand side to the right-hand side so that we can seamlessly stick them together. And then your animation should be detailed. It should be fluid, have a nice movement to them. That sticks to the 12 principles of animation as we've covered throughout this semester. Okay? These resources are going to update as I find more and more to be attached to your project here. And I've also included a timeline for this week, and then next week and finals week they will update as they happen. Okay? So what we got going on this week is you're working on your custom characters. A simple, unique character using shape language from that mini project 3.5, and you should give them a reason, the reason being the story that they exist in this group final. Okay? That's what the entry task was working you towards. Tuesday, we're going to go over how to animate a walk cycle, or the basics of animating a walk cycle. We're going to work on our timing charts, set up our projects, and then I'm going to check your work at the end of the period to make sure we're on track. I put Flex in here as optional if you want to work on stuff in my Flex for this Wednesday. As a reminder, we have our Martin Luther King Jr. assembly on Tuesday, and there is assigned seating for that, so you guys will stay here. We'll leave our bags here, and I'll talk about that more tomorrow morning. But anyway, if you want to come in on Wednesday, this is a good time to check your walk cycle keyframes or your timing charts, or to make sure that your character has a good use of shape language for this group final. Okay? A couple other things here. And then Thursday and Friday this week are work times day 1 and 2. There'll be some more resources about checking and refining your walk next week. And then most of finals week is work time. I've included the non-SGA classes on the finals week schedule in case you are looking for something to work on at home, or you're looking for a little bit of guidance or sort of a to-do list. You can find that here on the finals week page. And then as I record in-class videos, I will link them down here. And this will grow into a nicely resourceful document for your final. Okay? That's the information I need to share with you, but I want you to prioritize Mini Project 3.5, your custom character. Okay? So using shape language today, if you need this Walt Disney shape language reminder of what the shapes sort of represent, that is a good starting point. I want you to design your character that you're going to use for your final. Practice some sketching. Practice adapting. If you have an original character you want to translate to this final, you need to tell me how their shape language works and how it applies to your story, your details you gave me in the entry task. I'm just looking for some sketches, some concepts, a drawn-out character for the one that you plan on using the final today. Make sense? Okay. Any questions? All right. I have a short entry task at the last exit task, the last 5 minutes. The rest of this time is yours. You can work digitally or traditionally. Pens are up front for tablets, or if you want to draw on your phone or your tablet that doesn't have a stylus built in, this time is yours. All right? Good luck.